Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It depends on where you're listening. Welcome to The Solution. Nothing changes if we change nothing. We're the New York City Prevention Resource Center, and I'm here with my team. And I think we should each say who we are. I'm Ronni.
I'm Chevar.
And I'm Nanor.
And that's the team. And actually, you may be seeing another face here pretty soon. But how's everybody doing today?
Cool. That didn't sound too confident, right?
Yeah, no. it snowed yesterday, so it was very enjoyable. I haven't seen snow in 3-4 years.
Wow. Really? Where were you the last time you saw snow?
I was in Jerusalem, but then we had a little bit of drizzle snow, but then it never sticks because I was studying, and then I traveled to South Africa last year before coming back here. So I enjoyed it yesterday. I went even for a walk. It's like very soothing.
Yeah, out here on Long Island, it didn't stick at all. My dogs kind of stood there looking up like, okay, yeah, nothing. So hopefully we'll get some snow that actually sticks.
Yeah, I hope so too. Mm-hmm.
I like the snow. I can't wait to go sledding again.
You said that last year.
Yeah, there was no snow. Last time it was no real snow, man. Like I miss it. I do kid things if you want to call them kid things. I watch cartoons and my son plays the video games. He doesn't allow me to play anymore, so he took over. But I'm gonna remain a kid forever. I grew up on the Toys R Us commercials. Mm-hmm. You know, you never grow up. Your Toys R Us kid forever and ever. So that's they put that in my brain. So guess what's gonna happen? I'm gonna stay that way forever.
Well, you know, we all maintain a certain amount of being a kid somewhere deep inside. You know, for some people it's harder to find. For some of us, we get a little silly and crazy. My dogs bring it out in me. They're 11 years old. They're like puppies. We're out there and they're running around like maniacs, and it reminds me that it's still in there if you look for it.
And that's a great thing. That's a good thing. You know. And that all goes back to prevention. Everything is always full circle for me. I'm like, and I always talk about how do I bring this back, and finding that youthful self, or finding that what keeps you doing the others. It keeps you doing the thing that makes you happy. You know, whether it's making music, whether it's going sledding, watching cartoons or creating art, cooking, eating, which is always not a good thing, but but sometimes eating. Listen, I love donuts.
Eating is always a good thing, Chevon.
Thank you, Nanor. So it is a good thing.
No, but when you talk about prevention,
sprinkles.
You talk about prevention. I used drugs and alcohol at a very early age, and went on to be an active user for 28 years of my life, until I got into recovery at age 45, and it kept me a child. So I think that's part of the appeal for some people, is that you don't have to adult. Mm-hmm. You can always have an excuse not to adult, and after a while it catches up with you, and you realize you've never grown emotionally. Okay. You haven't had the relationships like normal people have, that you're stunted in so many ways because you stopped that process. Mm-hmm. So when I first got into recovery, it was like being a young kid again. I was seeing things with fresh eyes. I started noticing sunsets. I was like, oh my God, when did that start happening? I started seeing vibrant colors, things that I just had lost sight of. And emotionally, I felt like I was like 17.
Right.
Right. So let's see, that was 23 years ago. So I guess, I'm not emotionally 68 yet.
That's a good thing. I mean,
I'm only 40.
What I would say is adulting is hard. Yeah. Adulting is hard. Like especially in the time that we're in now, like being an adult, dealing with COVID, dealing with being home. I just want to sleep and have fun and chill. I miss my friends. I miss hanging out with the family. I miss those things that as when you were a teenager you would do. You would just get up and go, and it's like there is none of that. The new normal, and I'm just curious to know what that would look like 3 years from now, 2 years from now, because I'm just curious to know what the new normal. I don't want to go back to the old normal. The old normal for a person like me was never good. It's never good. And I don't want to only say me, for others also on this call, on this show. I'm pretty sure they could echo the same sentiment, but in a different manner. Like, it wasn't good, you know, in living lifestyles. I'm also very interested in the data of 2020 when it comes out and what it looks like. This is going to be crazy. This is going to be insane.
You know, we don't know what to expect. We know that from what we know so far.
Right.
We've seen overdoses go up a lot. We've seen crime go up a lot.
Absolutely.
Use go up a lot. But the age groups are what I'm interested in, because you have all these teenagers at home with their parents.
Right.
And you know, initially we saw use go down.
Right.
Because they can't get out to get the stuff. They can't get out to buy liquor and drink. You know, so use has gone down because of circumstances.
Right.
So there's some lessons to be learned there. There are some positives. You know, family involvement certainly changes things. But we also have seen domestic violence go up.
I was going to mention that. Yeah. Yeah. Not only domestic, child abuse too. You know, because like people use work and school to get away from their reality.
Yeah.
You know, and now your reality, your school, work is all mixed together. There's no separation.
It's in one space. Yeah, it's all in one space.
Which is something that, you know, the mental health field has their work cut out for them.
Oh, yeah.
They have their work cut out for them.
Well, this is our kind of pre-holiday show. Tonight's the first night of Hanukkah, which I'm excited about.
Yes.
So I get to light my menorah and eat latkes, which is fun, you know. But I'm curious, what's everybody doing for the holidays now? You know, we've got a very different time. For me, it's the same thing, because my wife and I have done celebration, just the two of us, for years, because we both spent so many years going to other people and not being in our own space. So for us, it's this nice little intimate celebration with us and the dogs. But what are you guys doing? And how does it differ from what you've done before?
Yeah, usually we get together, my intimate family with the bigger family, with friends, especially on Christmas Day, coming together, having a warm home cooked meal. But this year it's going to be only my intimate family. So yeah, because usually every Christmas I'm either traveling or home. Most of them traveling the few years. So this time I'm cozy with my family at home. Yeah, it's a bit different, but I'm also very much looking forward to it. Just appreciating to be grateful for what you have.
I think that sounds like a wonderful holiday for you. And I'm just curious, like, about the foods you eat. Like, what are some traditional dishes in your family? Because I don't know what Armenian foods are.
Yeah, so we do something called mahmajun. It's like an Armenian pizza, very, very thin dough with lots of meat and spices on it. It's very good. Hopefully after COVID, you'll get to taste it. I'll bring it to the office.
Yes, I'm looking forward to tasting that.
And then we stuff grape leaves. Yes. Nice. How about you, Chevar?
I don't need to be honest. Like, there's so much going on in my family. You know, I have family abroad, like I mentioned offline. I'm going through certain, you know, personal issues amongst my family. My father lives in Belize. He's in the hospital for COVID. So, I'm trying to figure out what's going on with him. I'm dealing with some other issues as far as, like, you know, close relatives and their trials and tribulations, and trying to be a supportive, positive force with them. And it's sometimes it can be overwhelming, especially, you know, because you can't be there for them because of the situation. You can't travel to be there to hold their hand, so to speak. And I use that term loosely because people, you know, holding their hand. No, sometimes people need their hands held, you know, like literally, you know, literally a handheld is a positive. Yeah. So just trying to figure out what that looks like, you know, seeing my mom, my daughter is at school and her coming back. Does she quarantine first because she's coming back from upstate? Like, I don't even know. Like, to be very honest, I really don't have a clear-cut answer on what the holidays is going to look like. You know, is it everyone on Zoom? You know, like, I don't know. I'm being honest. It's like, it's so family orientated where it's like you said, Nanor, everyone comes together, but it's tough. For, you know, at least for me, it's tough. So I don't know.
It's very tough. Yeah.
I think it is for most people. We've had a rough 2020, and that's an understatement. Like, you had told me a year ago that this was going to be the year would have. I would have been saying, "No, come on." But it's been tough in so many ways, not just COVID.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's 100. Well, I'm not going to say because I'll be lying. I would say 70% of people would still agree with you. Most people, I would hope most people would agree with you. It's because no one could have predicted what would happen this year and how it would affect us mentally, socially, emotionally. Like, the social interaction is different now. The emotions of being home can drive you to mental issues, can drive you to use of AODs, alcohols, and other drugs. There's so much where we're social beings.
Right.
We're social beings. If we can't, back in the olden days, if we would gather, if we couldn't find people, we'd go look for them. Now it's like,
I mean, I can't believe I haven't been in your physical presence in 9 months, 8 or 9 months. It's like, but anyway, you're not. I purposely waited till you're done with your thought.
Yes, because it always happens to me.
We actually have people in the waiting room, and I'm going to admit them so they can come in. We've got some guests today, which I love.
Yay!
All right, they should be coming in a minute. Yep, we've got 2 people who have entered the waiting room. And we're going to give them a moment to get in. But the holidays can be triggers for people a lot too. It brings up, I know for me, when I was, heavily into my disease, it was a trigger for me every time. But anyway, we've got actually 3 people who are joining us now. So we'll wait till everybody gets settled. And hey, Phil, how are you?
Hi there, Ronnie. It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. And as they say in recovery, it's good to be seen.
Yes, good to be seen.
Yes.
Hi, Chevar.
How are you?
Hi. And Nanor, it's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And as we said, we have some special guests today. They're here. They're here on many levels. The group that's here today represents a coalition that I've been with since they started, and they're very special people, but they're more than a coalition to us. They're also people that we consider family. And they're from the WEPA coalition in the Bronx, and we're waiting for one of their members to connect. But in the meantime, Phil and Chevon, you want to introduce yourselves and tell our viewers who you are and what you do?
Hi, my name is Chevon Rucker, and I am born and raised in the Bronx. I am, WEPA stands for We Engage in Prevention Awareness. I'm the Director of Programs. Excited to be with you guys. And yes, Ronnie, we are family.
We are totally family. Okay, thank you. Phil, why don't you tell everybody who you are, and then we'll get Addie.
So I'm Phillip Flynn, and I almost forgot there for a minute. I'm Phillip Flynn, and I am, my official title is the Director of Outreach and Community Engagement for the WEPA Coalition. And I'm delighted to be here with you. I'm excited to be a guest on your podcast.
We're excited as well. And that leaves.
Hi, I'm Reverend Addie Banks, and I am so grateful to be here with our midwife and our doula who helped to bring WEPA into existence. We started 4 years ago, trying to bring it to birth, and now we're 2 years old. We are a toddler in the Bronx, and I think we're making some waves. So I'm the executive director. I was the coordinator, and we began WEPA out of an initiative from our parent organization, the Groundswell Group, which had an initiative to create a healthy culture, and we have programs around that. And WEPA is one of those programs that we believe is going to help to make the Bronx a national wellness zone.
Can I share something really quickly? Wow, this is a double. Anyway, what I want to say, you said, Reverend Addie, your toddlers, 2-year-olds, you are not in your turbo twos, you're in your terrific twos. So I just want to say that, not your turbo twos, your terrific twos. I'm sorry, Ronni. I just wanted to say
Thank you for
that.
Siobhan.
Thank you.
Chevar, thank you for that title. We're the TTs now. That's right. We're in our terrific twos. It's been 2 great years of amazing processes for us. I would say processes that have brought about tremendous productivity in our borough.
Oh, absolutely.
In our little corner.
Now, and I just, for people who are listening, who are thinking about forming coalitions, they're saying 2 years. This work has been going on with this group for over 3. August was 3 years that we first met. And, at OASIS, which is our substance misuse prevention state agency in New York City. And we met, and I said, these people are great. And they were like, yeah, we'd like to form a coalition. That was 3.5 years ago. And it takes a while. So anybody who's trying to form a coalition, I always say it takes 3 to 5 years to really get things going. And you're now in your 2nd year operation, but you're probably your 4th year of trying to get this moving along. And could you talk a little bit about the work you're doing? What are some of the things happening with WEPA now?
Well, we just came off of a major exciting experience yesterday with our Day of Action. We meet 10 months out of the year. We're off for the summer in August. And in December, we use that as a month of celebration and appreciation. So this, in light of COVID, we felt we really needed to be out in our community. I know we picked a very dangerous time, but somehow we did it. And we just finished doing a sticker shock campaign, which we say is a way that we support our merchants in remaining compliant and becoming partners in youth development in our communities. So we just did that yesterday, and it was such an exciting experience for us and for the young people. We had, I would say, 15 young people. We had 11 at one site and I think 6 at another site. And we went out into our community. We were very well received. I think we probably reached 8 to 10 merchants, maybe 10 merchants who welcomed us and our stickers, and our kids created these amazing stickers with artwork at the bottom. And so we got to get into our community around underage drinking, the dangers of underage drinking. And we also got that out to 20,000 people. The message, we got it out to 20,000 people in our planning board. That message went out, and our sticker shock poster went out to over 20,000 residents in our community. And then the press covered us yesterday, so it'll go out to more people. And it was an exciting experience for the young people to be engaged in and to see other possibilities for other kinds of ways they can lead in our community, because we use that as a jump off point with a coalition partner that had joined us and had never been able to engage with us. And that was our area of law enforcement, the 52nd Precinct. And they came out with 11 young people who were with us for the first time and introduced to the process of prevention. So that's our most exciting thing. Chevon will talk a little more about, and Nancy, about Triple P parenting program that we're engaged in, which is not particularly in the environmental strategies range, but it's a direct service that we're offering to parents and treatment centers, which we believe is a way of prevention, because we believe it stops the cycle of addiction in families. So Chevon and Nancy, or Phil.
Well, I want to just give up, before we leave this subject of that beautiful event yesterday, I want to give a shout out, a recognition for Officer Rowden Cruz of the 52nd Precinct, and he heads up the youth engagement part of the precinct. And he is just a delight to work with, so passionate. He, on very short notice, got them into a police van, got 12 young people in it that he's working with in a leadership development program, and brought them to our event and wholeheartedly participated, and is very excited about having a relationship with us going forward. So I just wanted to say how grateful we are for his participation and support.
That is so great. Important sector.
Ronni, can I add that out of that, we also have a contest for the best photographs of the day. We engage the youth in taking photographs, and the best photograph of the day is coming into our email accounts, and we will give a $50 award for the person who took the best shot of the day as we're together. Yes. And Phil said short notice in that Officer Cruz has been otherwise engaged during COVID and sort of got off. He said he sort of was missing in action with us for a couple of months, but he's been a member of the coalition for a year now. So this was their first time engaging with us, and that was amazing.
Oh, it sounds great. And just for anybody who may be listening who doesn't know what Sticker Shock is, what is Sticker Shock, if you wanted to describe it?
Well, Sticker Shock is, and we didn't tell the merchants it was Sticker Shock because we didn't want them to be shocked.
Right, of course.
Sticker Shock
Shocked by the Sticker Shock.
Sticker Shock. We promoted it as a way to support them in being compliant and being partners in the community. But Sticker Shock is printing up stickers that will go on alcoholic beverages, our doors, our cases where alcohol is sold, and in places where alcohol is sold, to alert, I would say, purchasers and retailers about the dangers of a particular substance. And in that case, it was alcohol, because we thought we could do Sticker Shock and other things too. But this one was around alcohol. And it basically, we place a sticker on a case of beer, or we have smaller ones that we placed on bottles, and it stays in the store. So it's on a case where they sell the alcoholic beverages. And we also put it on every case that was available. Every case of beer that was available, it's on it. And we also left posters in the windows of our stores with the same message. So when you go into the stores, you come in, you see it immediately. In the supermarkets, it's right there when you enter the door.
Love it.
You go on the aisles where there are beverages sold, it's all throughout on all the cases. So that's the campaign, and we tried to get it out to as many merchants as possible. In the Grand and Burnside area, we were able to go from the Grand Concourse to University Avenue. So that's almost a 10-block radius. And in our other community where we meet monthly, we did 2 supermarkets, and there are a lot of products in that area. So that was our.
I don't want to miss the opportunity to share that we had some young adults from Fierce with us, which is Fierce are also partners with us. They represent our LGBTQ community. And so we don't want to miss that opportunity. And we thank those young adults for coming out and sharing this experience with us, because it was also an experience for WEPA to go out on its first campaign. And something that we that happened organically is we entered into the supermarkets. And I think at first we were just thinking bodegas and maybe liquor stores, but the supermarkets were excited to invite us in and to let us put up our posters and our stickers. And we also learned that a lot of the a lot of alcohol purchases are made at these supermarkets. So the youth had a great time just going into those supermarkets and posting up stickers. We got some pictures from the contest. So we have some people who submitted pictures, and you just see the excitement on their face. You can see the cases that that they put the stickers on. And I do just want to add that we had the stickers and the posters are both in English and translated into Spanish. So we wanted to make sure that we reached our community with 64% of our of the population being Hispanic. We didn't want to miss that opportunity to engage everyone.
And Chevon, can I add that we also didn't want to miss the opportunity of engaging with those young people. We started Sticker Shock in the schools earlier this year. And that was through our social media outlet. We put out a contest for kids to create artwork. Some of the themes didn't go as we expected, but that was a learning experience too. We did get a few submissions where it was promoting smoking marijuana, etc.
Okay.
But that was helpful for us to see where their heads are at and what they're thinking. We weren't able to use those in the contest, but they are certainly conversation pieces, talking points. But we got beautiful artwork from across the community of artists also submitted and youth. So we chose, I think, 4 winners who won that contest. And then we placed most of the art on the stickers. So the stickers are, I wish we could get that up on the screen so I could read it so you would know what it is now. I don't have it memorized, but the stickers had a stop sign on it and it said, "Stop. Did you know that youth who consume alcohol under the age of 21 are 5 times more likely to become addicted as adults?" And at the bottom of that, it says, help keep our youth creative and safe, because at the bottom is their creativity expressed in, the artwork was amazing.
It was
heroes. It's like,
beautiful sticker. Yeah. Well,
I'm looking to see if I can get that up really quick. I also want to add that those submissions, those art submissions, was submitted to our Jubilant WEPA on Instagram. So you can follow us at Jubilant WEPA on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So
I was going to ask you that. I'm glad you said that.
Yeah.
Also, a lot of people listen to this as an audio version, so they wouldn't see what you put up there.
Oh, and our video as well as audio? Okay, I thought we were just audio. We are video too. Okay.
Oh, yes. Everyone will see your beautiful
People
smiling
will see us.
faces.
Okay, wonderful.
So, Chevon, you're going to tell us about Triple P, because, you know, we're watching all these coalitions we work with adapting to the pandemic, and it slowed down a lot of groups, but it hasn't slowed down WEPA. So what are you guys doing as far as Triple P?
We've been blessed. Like when you say it that way, I just had a gratitude moment. Yeah, absolutely. We haven't, you know, COVID didn't slow us down, thank God, even with everything going on worldwide and just personally. We were very fortunate to be a part of the Triple P program, which stands for positive, help me out.
Positive parenting
program. And Triple P is, what I love about Triple P is that it is really a simple program. Everything good doesn't have to be difficult, right? So the program, first of all, Triple P is really, it has a really wide bandwidth and a large body of work. But what we've been particularly working with is their discussion group piece, which focuses on youth from 0 to 12 years old. And so with the parenting piece, we partnered with 5 treatment centers, 4 with Montefiore and 1 with Acres. And so we've been supporting these treatment centers, and the treatment centers have been referring parents through their counselors to our program, and we've been coming and working with these parents via Zoom, which has been exciting and an experience, a learning curve, working with parents in recovery. But it's been great. The discussion group is a series of 4 sessions. Each session is not they're dependent sessions. They're not interdependent on each other, which is good. One of them is hassle-free shopping, bedtime. Another one is dealing with, you know, disobedience. And the feedback that we've been getting from parents is, and these parents are parents who may not be with their children. Their children might be in the system in some sort of way, maybe with another family member. But the appreciation for the program, these are parents who may have experienced other parenting programs, and they really said that this parenting program, what differentiates it is that it is simple, it's doable, it is something that they could put in practice right away. And Addie, you could speak a little bit just about how in the middle of sessions, how parents have been able to apply exactly what they're learning in the moment with their children who may be and very different ways, how something might be going on in their home at that moment with their teenager or with their adolescent, and they were applying it. Like, wait, I just learned about this, about say for instance, explaining to their child, explaining, maybe giving an explanation to what they see their child doing, and allowing the child to be able to self-correct at that moment. That could be something that we just talked about, and they're like, wait a minute, I'm going to try this out. So it's been exciting, and it's been fun, and it's been a learning experience.
So let me just add, Chevon, thank you for that. Let me just add that this is where we see ourselves breaking the generational cycle of addiction. And this is really important work for us. And we can't tell you what it was like, because Groundswell, our parent organization, has been doing this kind of direct service work with parents around processes. So this was a great tool for us with being able to be connected to treatment centers. So I'll tell you, the biggest thing was getting a treatment center to partner with a coalition. That was major for us. And we got 5. They said you needed at least 3. And in the network, we have found that we're the only one that's a coalition. The other places are agencies and entities that are already established. So we're in the community in a very different way. So we see this as very significant in terms of breaking the cycle of addiction, to be able to support parents and to support treatment centers. Some of the stuff that's happened has been that a parent just came, she's on the class with us, she got in, but she just got in by a hair, because she had to just pick up her son from the psychiatric ward at the hospital, who was asking her to buy him alcohol for the last week. And she was refusing. And she's like, I got to get to the class because I got to get what you guys have. And then she comes into the session and shares this with the community. And we're able to support her through this experience. Another parent had just got her son from jail, and she's in the class. She just left an hour ago and brought the kid home. And she's there now saying, I need to, oh, this is great. I needed this today. So it's that kind of thing. And we're different than their other parenting programs, because we're saying we're your community. We live here with you. We're here after the class is over. We have other ways to engage you. We're staying with you, because this is a whole life process. This is a holistic process. So it's been really wonderful to have Triple P. And one of our challenges was a lot of our parents had teens. This is 0 to 12. But even in taking the rigorous training of Triple P, which I said almost took me down because it's very rigorous. Even in taking the training, and you got, when you get your credential for Triple P, you have really earned it. It's very rigorous. So even in doing that process, when you're doing it, you're thinking about your own parenting, how you parented, and how you can keep parenting, because even though it's these basic skills, there are lifelong skills that you can use. And because of our persistence, I want to think that it's because of us, because from the very beginning, we were asking, what about the teen version? We need the teen version. So now apparently the teen version is available. So now we'll be getting that next level, which is the group of kids that we're mainly focused on. But to be able to get in Head Start programs for us is amazing. To get prevention into Head Start, that's our next place that we're going, is Head Start. The 3-year-olds are going to get this.
That's incredible. It's not like you even see a lack of enthusiasm here. You guys are so, passionate about this.
We're excited, and we're more excited that Triple P has extended the program for another year for us, that they also opened it up, by popular demand, all the agencies and the coalitions that are doing Triple P, we said, it's important that we have this teenage piece. But I will say this: the fact that the discussion group that is targeted for 0 to 12, it was also applicable a lot of things to teenagers. And so that was awesome. And like Addie said, these are life skills that they're learning, that they're able to apply immediately. Even myself as a facilitator going through the training, when I was going through the training, it was strenuous. However, I had so many aha moments. And being a mom of 2, I was able to have a lot of takeaways myself. And every time I facilitated the training with Veronica Dingwall, who's also was trained. And I just got to add this. I don't want to miss this opportunity. WEPA, we also, through this funding, we made sure that we trained at least one person from each treatment center site.
Yes.
So that's important to add that, because we were thinking about sustainability. We wanted to make sure that if the funding stopped, would the treatment center be able to still support their parents in this way? And so we stayed close with them, and we made sure that they are trained and was a part of the workshops, and engaged them and taking part as co-facilitators. And we're just grateful that we have another year, because now we can make sure that we tighten this up and that the program is embedded into the treatment centers that we're working in, not just something that they do, but that they can incorporate that into their programming.
That's so important.
We learned a lot from this, because when we have opportunity, we're finding other ways to add other people into the training, that if we're not funding, we're going to be looking at some other ways of doing fundraising. Because now that we've done the deep dive, CATCA deep dive, that was another amazing experience for us, because we saw where we were. We actually have our plan already created, and we saw different ways that people were raising funds. Now, it hasn't been our experience that in Triple P that I have seen any other coalitions. The other people that we've been training with and connected to are agencies that already have access to parents in programs. To me, I haven't seen any other coalitions doing it. We are the coalition model. So to me, this brings us into another realm as coalitions of what's possible for us to do. And CATCA also, the deep dive helped us to see that too, because we saw that we really are a coalition that is engaging in a different level in our communities. And the PRC representatives were telling us that we were different than the other coalitions. And we said it's because of our PRC that we're different than the other coalitions.
Well, we appreciate that. And just for anybody listening or watching, CATCA is Community Anti-Drug Coalitions of America. And this funding for you was made possible by OASIS, New York State Office of Addiction Services and Supports. And that's who funds us as well. So I just figured I'd put a little shameless plug in there for them.
I just wanted to add one thing to what.
Yes, finally, we're going to give Phil a chance to talk.
Addie said that the reason that the Triple P program is so exciting to us is because, parenting skills, that sounds kind of abstract, but if you really look at it, when parents get these skills, it creates an environment of open communication and trust and mutual respect between the parents and the children. And so it really is about building healthier family environments for these kids to grow up in. And we know that that's so important for the kind of life they're going to be able to lead. And also it stabilizes them and gives them a solid foundation in which to move out into the world from. And so it really results in a lowered likelihood that they would get involved in picking up substances to begin with.
That's a great point.
Healthy families, healthy children, healthy parents.
And it's been a wonderful way for us to inspire parents towards the joy of parenting, because the Triple P, it's fun. And you see they use real people. So you see how joy is restored to a parent with a 2-year-old who's in the terrible twos. When you're doing the training, they're using real parents who have very extreme, difficult problems with the kids, with just getting them to bed, just taking them to shop. And you see the way the child is transformed by these very simple processes. And I want to say one of the wonderful things about Triple P is it's something that we have been saying already as a community of faith, in our faith understanding. But say what you want, not what you don't want. Don't tell them what not to do. Simply tell them what you want them to do. And that is the way that they'll be formed. Not telling them, don't do this, don't do. Tell them what you want them to do. They're not like little pets, no, stop. They're people who have capacity to grow and develop, and that capacity is almost endless.
But don't we all do better when we're dealt with through our strengths and through
Yes.
positive, reinforcement? I mean,
Yes.
there's even a method of training dogs with positive reinforcement. And sometimes I find myself saying no to my dogs, and I'm like, no, change that.
Change that.
Lead them towards the behavior and praise the behavior, because they'll look for the praise next time. And that's human nature, and it's nature of all living things. We want to be loved. We want to be accepted. We want to know that we're pleasing the people we care the most about. And sometimes one thing I've always noticed is that when you give kids negative attention and you don't give them anything else,
give you more of that.
yeah, they're going to go for whatever attention you give them, because they
Attention
want to
to
know
the
that you're paying attention.
Yep.
But-
They want to know that you're paying attention. I love how you said that, Ronnie. They
Yeah,
want to
They'll do anything they can do to get
No matter
attention.
what.
If that's where they get most of your engagement around negativity, then they'll continue that. So that's for all of us, so that we can continue to be healed. It's like, say what we want, not what we don't want. And the parents are grabbing a hold of that, like, oh yeah.
I think you just gave us a title for this episode, actually. Well, we're almost out of time, but I just wanted to ask you this question. Could you tell people where WEPA is located, what communities you serve, and how they can get in touch with you if they want to be a part of it?
Okay, I'm going to need some help on that. So our monthly meetings are in the Northwest Bronx. We meet at 2859 Webb Avenue, and that's our monthly meetings. And now we're on Zoom.
That's pre-COVID.
That's pre-COVID. We'll be back there once things open up. And we are serving community district 5, 7, and 8. We're in 3 zip codes. And those are contiguous communities where we've been for a long, long time. And so usually people say, you got to be in one area. But these communities are right across the street from each other. They're connected. And
Right.
so that's where we are.
This is like the Kingsbridge Heights area.
Okay, now we'll make sure to put your contact information in the comments, but if they do want to get in touch with you, what would be the best way?
They can get in touch with us at info.wepabronx@gmail.com.
Okay, info.wepabronx, and that spells out Bronx?
Yes, spell it out, BRONA.
Okay, at gmail.com. Hey, that's the first thing.
Follow us.
Here's my life.
And
Yeah,
people at
and
WEPA.
WEPA is WEPA.
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 info.wepabronx@gmail.com.
And we
Okay.
love that because we are about seeing youth and families thrive. And we say that we're building this coalition in the shelter of each other, making healthy communities where youth and families can thrive. So it's a jubilant community that we're looking to see, and we're in it now.
Okay, now in the final minutes, and we're going to have to ask pretty quick answers on this, but Chevar, you want to ask our fun question we always ask?
Of course I do. You guys are all still very young. So think back to 3 years ago when you were younger, as a child, when you were in your child. What did you want to be when you were growing up?
Actress.
That was easy. And that was Chevon, by the way.
Yeah, I wanted to be an actress.
I love it.
Imagine this. I wanted to be a translator working in France.
Really, Reverend Addie, as a child, as a 3-year-old or a 6-year-old, was watching French films.
I wanted to, I wanted to get there as an airline stewardess. And I thought once I get there, I didn't know I was 3 years old though.
I'm guessing. I don't know how old you were back then. You know, it wasn't too long ago, so I don't know.
But I was 3.
So I wanted to be president of the United States, actually.
And you still can. You listen, anyone can be president.
The reason that I wanted to do that, I know Joe Biden's getting up there in years, so it might be a possibility. But the reason I wanted to do that is because I was very inspired by John Kennedy.
Nice.
And I said, when I grow up, that's what I want to do. I want to travel around and inspire people to come together and build a better world.
Nice. And you read about John F. Kennedy in books, right? You weren't there.
No, I was.
We were
there like I was.
Watching it on my TV set.
We were kind of there, Chevon. That is our era. We remember when that all happened.
Yes, we do.
But
you guys are still young.
The energy was contagious and inspiring.
Yes.
And it moved a generation to aspire to higher causes and better purposes.
So we're still in that same work today. I'm not an airline stewardess. I didn't know it was a waitress job. So I'm not that. I didn't understand what it was. It was like travel and it's going to France. I did take French too for years. Not good at it.
Well, and just to say that you actually are all doing what you wanted to do. And you talk about changing the world. I wanted to change the world, but what I learned early on was I may not be able to change the world, but I can change my corner of it. And you're certainly doing that. So I want to.
And I'm working in translation. I always feel I'm working in translation. I always feel that's a big part of my work. It's translation, like translating this to that. And
absolutely. It might not be in French, but you are translating.
I'm not even good at French at all.
I'm always bringing the energy.
So,
the energy that I learned from my training,
as an actress, yes.
Training, that energy, the voice and diction, that that bass, that
stage presence.
Yes.
And Phil, you are so regal. You are so presidential, Phil. So don't worry, you are president.
Absolutely.
On that note, we hate to have to say goodbye, but we'll see you later. Because we'll have you back on again soon. In fact, we're going to be doing a holiday episode next week and asking people to stop by with a holiday message. So we'll be getting that information out to you. But thank you again for coming. This is the part of the show where we close it out. So we have to, see you leave the room. But thank you so much. It flew by because you guys are so full of passion, love, and energy. And thank you for enlightening my world.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing WEPA into being. The only male we know is Chevar.
Love you guys.
Love you too. And we'll see you again soon. All right. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Grace and peace to you.
Peace to you as well. Okay. What a passionate group.
Absolutely. Very passionate. They're always passionate.
Yeah, I love their energy and the smile that always goes around.
I know, right?
Yeah.
Even when they're not smiling, they're smiling. Like I think Reverend Addie has like a built-in smile.
Yeah.
On these cheeks of joy, and even all of them, Phil, they're always happy and pleasant to be around and encouraging. Sat back and just listening because they have so much going on. I had to say it dramatically, because
of course. Well, being there in person, the energy, they actually transmit it through the virtual world as well. So there are a few people who can do that, who can kind of fill you with the same energy. But I'd love them to come on again to talk about some of the work they do in restorative justice with healing circles, because they've got a history of doing that work as well. But we'll do that next time. But in the meantime, I think we're out of time. We really enjoyed our guests again. And I thank everybody for being here, our team. Now we're a team of 3 and we're excited about that. And, I just want to thank our listeners and our viewers. Please remember to subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you look down at the bottom of the screen, you'll see it. Let's see, when you're looking, it's on the right side. It'll be on my left. And please subscribe to our channel, share it with your friends, and just let's get the word of prevention out there. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. And why don't you take us out, Chevar? Tell them the name of the show and a final message.
The solution. Nothing changes if we change nothing. I hope you guys loved the episode. I loved it. You know, normally you guys hear me talk a lot or ask questions. I had a ton of questions, but I sat back and I just wanted to listen. And, you know, based on what Ronni said earlier, I want everyone to have a, you know, well, I'm going to take part of WEPA, and I want everyone to have a jubilant day, jubilant afternoon, jubilant evening. Enjoy. Thanks for listening.